Welcome to Let the Play Develop, a podcast where I'm going to be depressed all day because UNC officially lost to Duke both times we played them this season.
Get the brooms out.
You don't sound happy to be here.
Couldn't take care of
to
things.
hold it over my head that NC State made it higher in the ACC. Today we have the freaking show, and we're going to do the news, and we have two new segments called Next Up and Do Over. Do you have anything you want to say before we start the news? Maybe I can cheer up a little bit.
As a UNC fan, it's time for my decision. I'm taking my talents to South Beach. I will now be a fan of University of Miami.
Not the bandwagon Miami.
There is just one thing I do think is worth noting. So in case anyone thinks that I constantly hold over the fact that State has success over Seth, first of all, I've never done that because State doesn't normally have success over UNC. And second of all, that's normally Seth's job, but I get to enjoy my year.
Rub it in. Nah, right in his face. I don't want to see any grace for him on this.
The fact that we had to set the first time they played each other this season, we had to set guidelines on what could be said to each other
After the game, yeah.
If it was
Seth crossed all of them. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I didn't.
I was just playing.
Anyways.
Well, I do have to say, though, at least, if you can take away anything, at least State knows how to protect their home field or their home court because we beat Duke by 25 when we played them. So,
Yikes.
Caleb Love was playing an entirely different game than the rest of that team. Anyways.
I can't wait to talk about all that in our next week.
Next week's episode,
March
we're
Madness.
doing a whole college basketball March Madness episode.
That'll be fun.
Okay. Here's your weekly news segment. All right, so starting with the NFL for this week, we have 3 players that have officially been NFL franchise tagged. They are Josh Jacobs for the Raiders,
Okay.
Evan Ingram for the Jaguars, and Daron Payne from the Commanders, the defensive tackle.
Oh, actually, he's really good.
He a dog.
I'm not upset with any of them getting franchise tagged, except maybe Josh Jacobs, because as a running back, you have such a short window to get your bag, and he's not getting his bag.
Yeah, he's going to get paid this year, but who knows about next year.
He better just put it all in savings.
He, honestly, it may be controversial, but he really kept them relevant this year.
He was the rushing leader, right?
I'd say.
Yeah.
Was he? Yeah, I think he was. I think he
they
beat Derrick Henry out for it.
They had Devontae Adams, but he didn't do much with.
Well, actually, I think Devontae Adams had a good season. Derek Carr did not.
I guess that's what
because
overshadows
it was like,
yeah.
hey, if Derek Carr is throwing the ball to Devontae Adams, it's either like a 50-yard completion or it's going to be like an interception.
We have a weekly segment where we talk about Las Vegas Raiders.
No, actually.
Well, this is the thing.
I don't know.
They're the Real Housewives of the NFL.
I was going to say, the only one that caught me off guard, and not like as in this is a bad move, but I didn't know that the Jaguars were thinking about franchise tagging Evan Ingram.
I didn't think so either.
Because he just signed there last year. So I thought like maybe they'd be on good terms. Like he kind of revitalized his career there, which he could have been just using this as a, hey, I'm going to get right so I can go get my bag.
Maybe it could work out for him because other teams seeing that they franchise tagged him may want them a little bit more.
Right.
Because you don't franchise tag someone you don't want on your
You don't
team.
want. Yeah, true.
So that could work out in his favor because, I mean, I think of Evan Ingram as an okay talent, but I think he's gotten a lot better too. So,
all right. Fair. So I do want to ask this question because I think there's a little bit more clarity because I don't think you can successfully predict where the Washington Commanders will be next year. I don't think you can really predict where the Las Vegas Raiders will be next year because, like, if they have Aaron Rodgers, they're probably going to be in a better spot than they were this year. If they have some no-name at quarterback, they're probably not going to be in a better spot. So I do want to ask you guys, where do you think, like, Jacksonville will be since, they're one of the teams that –
I think they are a solid playoff team next year.
Like, are we talking about can make it past the wild card?
Yeah.
I mean, they made it past the wild card this year, so I guess that's a little disrespectful.
Conference championship.
I think I think they make it to the conference championship. Yeah. I don't know about winning it, but I think they make it.
So basically, Final Four of the NFL.
Yeah.
One of them's the Jaguars. I like it. I have a lot of like for the Jaguars. I mean, were they 1 win away?
I don't remember.
No, they had to be. Oh, they might have been. No, they weren't. They were not. They didn't beat Kansas City, and Kansas City played someone else after them, right?
Yeah, the Bengals, right. But that's the Final Four.
Yeah, they were.
So they were one win away
from the Final Four.
Wow, that's crazy. Anyway,
Good for
sorry.
them. Sorry, that was
Not very good. Yeah.
And the last thing from the NFL, not a lot going on this week with the combine and everything. Calais Campbell has stated openly that Lamar Jackson wants to get a deal done with the Ravens to stay there, apparently.
I just saw today that they're looking at a special type of tag for Lamar where, like, you either someone tries to sign him and they can match, or he gets traded for 2 first-round picks to that team.
So it's like a sign-in trade?
Kind of. Except it's like, so they either can match them and pay them the money they wanted to, just like they normally would. Or, I could be getting this wrong. I don't want to say wrong, but the other option is, like, the other team has to give up 2 first-round picks for him.
Interesting. Well,
That is interesting.
It's kind of the whole Lamar Jackson situation is interesting because you could sit here for hours and make guesses on what's going to happen, and it's like one of the few situations that, like, really, to me, nothing sounds very surprising. Like, I would not be surprised if he gets moved, if he stays. Like, it all seems like a possibility.
It does. It really does.
Yeah, that's it for the NFL for this past week. Not a lot going on. There was a lot with the NFL Combine. That was the main thing of the week, but there's so many numbers and everything that I don't think I am privy to explaining.
None of that really comes relevant. Like, it's relevant for a lot of major coverage, but until draft time, then you can really review that information and see how it worked out.
And I mean, no offense, because all of these guys are, but like, it's, if you just look at numbers, and it's very, I know it sounds crazy, but like, especially like looking at some of the, like, all of it's a lot of highlights. So it's players a lot of times even having some of their best days ever that stand out. And half the time that doesn't even translate to NFL success. So we just have to wait and see.
Very true. In the NBA this past week, Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving combined for an 82 points the other night to beat the 76ers.
So
I did not even know that.
Luka dropped 70 and Kyrie dropped 12. I'm just
Luka
gonna
dropped-
Oh, wow.
Wow, the Kyrie disrespect.
I love Kyrie.
That's
strong.
Luka
Let me not
actually
say love.
dropped 42. Kyrie dropped 40.
Yeah, that's fair.
That sounds
So,
fair.
I was
That's
just
crazy.
joking.
Yeah,
I do like
yeah,
Kyrie.
I mean, if there's one thing Kyrie Irving will do, it's score. So
He's your point guard.
yeah, but he's a scorer.
Is he passing? I'm just kidding. He is. He has good assist numbers normally.
Yeah,
and
but-
Luka can pass too, so it's
Yeah,
okay.
Mans is making me eat my words. I didn't think that they would be a good fit together, honestly.
I knew they would be fine. I mean, they haven't done a whole lot since being combined, but
When you have that much talent together, and unless your name is the Brooklyn Nets at any point in history, you'll be okay.
and see, to me, I honestly, I just want to say this for like, just I think this is really important for the Mavericks because Luka and Kyrie are like unbelievably talented offensively, and I think what people forget, and I honestly think this will be the biggest decider on how good the Dallas Mavericks are. Kyrie Irving is a good defender when he decides to play defense. But a lot of times he doesn't decide to play defense. So we're going to see how – I think this season is where you can see how much Kyrie Irving wants to, like, prove how good Kyrie Irving is.
He's got to keep his stamina bar up for the handles on the other end.
Right. So, I'm not going to – if he plays bad defense the rest of the season, I'm talking about in the playoffs, we're going to see if Kyrie Irving is really, like, how good Kyrie Irving really is, I think, in my opinion.
Backtracking to what I said earlier, though, honestly, it's 2 franchises that don't know how to win with talent, and that's Brooklyn and the Clippers. Neither one of those teams know how to win when they have loaded rosters.
Very true.
I don't know why.
Right now they're letting their star players rest for 90% of the season.
It's funny because it's happened along the same timetable both times. Because this time, the first time it was the Nets had Paul Pierce,
Kevin
Garnett, while the Clippers had Chris Paul,
Lob City
Darren
going
Williams,
on.
Joe Johnson.
This time it was they have Kyrie, Harden, and KD. You got Kawhi and PG on the other side, and neither team can win anything. That's crazy.
This is the Clippers' chance to really because like Paul George and Kawhi haven't played a lot together, and you know what? Honestly, I'm not saying they ever will play a whole lot together. And kind of that was the problem with the Brooklyn Nets. The trio of James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant played like 10% of their game. Like or
That's crazy.
Or it might even be less than that. They barely played together. So that's the you gotta. It doesn't matter if you have all the talent in the world if you can't get them on the court together.
I
True.
agree. We're having a yawn fest.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
It's that Sunday nap that we're missing.
Honestly. So next up is LaMelo Ball out for the season.
Yes. No, I'm just kidding. I don't mean
Wow.
that. I don't mean that. I like LaMelo a lot.
Yeah, he fractured a bone in his foot. I think they said he needs surgery. He's going to be out for the rest of the season.
Well, this is how I look at it. The Hornets had won 3 games in a row with LaMelo Ball, I believe, having a triple-double in all 3 games, or if not, he was very close. And he was having, he had a 30-point triple-double. I know he had a 20-point triple-double. And I'm going to be honest. If we're going to get Victor, it probably – because, they were beating teams that were almost in the playoffs. So, I hate it. Come back stronger next year when we have Victor.
Tank for Victor.
I heard this somewhere, and I kind of agree with the take. LaMelo right now, as it stands, is on the DeMarcus Cousins roadmap.
Honestly, that sounds about right.
What do you mean by that?
Great talent.
Yeah, he's going to be
stuck in a dysfunctional organization until they're no longer relevant.
Yep.
I mean,
because his stats, they compared to other players from around his draft time, are just as good, or even players that have drafted before him are just as good or not better when he's on the court. But yet, it's being overlooked because he plays for Charlotte.
Yeah, and I hate it because DeMarcus Cousins, I think, only had 1 relevant year with Anthony Davis when he was traded to the Pelicans.
That was such a good year.
It was, and the Pelicans look like, I think they took the Warriors to 6 in the first round series. It was Drew, Anthony Davis, Rondo, DeMarcus. It was looking like they had, and then injuries killed them both.
It was short-lived, but I think that was a top 5 big man duo of all time, for the year that it was.
They were both.
If we just did it on a season-by-season basis.
Because DeMarcus Cousins was still prime Cousins for that 1 year. I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
If the Hornets are able to get Victor Wembanyama, if they pair him beside Mark Williams, that's a scary duo, man.
Yeah, because Mark Williams is exactly what Victor Wembanyama is not. And
exactly.
It's like that kind of big body you can't run through, block your shot type of guy.
And now it's also a giant mismatch because Victor Wembanyama is going to be playing the 4 and he's 7'5".
I will give you Kristaps and 5 first-round picks for Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, honestly, as someone who's kept up with the Hornets for all these years,
I'm being fleeced. I love that. But
my mic.
This being said, this is as much as I love Kristaps Porzingis as a Wizards fan. I'll trade you for Wembanyama.
I've kept up with the Hornets for too long to think that we're actually going to get Victor. I don't even think we're going to get Scuda. I think we're going to somehow probably fall out of the top 4, and it's going to be sad.
Did y'all see that? It's just how many 7'5" people can hit a one-legged three-pointer?
I don't know.
Dribble like a guard and
hit turnaround shots like KD.
Run like a gazelle. It's ridiculous.
If he stays healthy.
That's the thing.
Yeah, that's true. There's just one thing that really bothers me because welcome to the world of the internet. People are gonna hate, but there's a clip of Victor getting bodied in the paint.
Oh yeah,
going up against a guy who was probably about 100 pounds heavier than he, because he's a skinny dude. Mm-hmm. But I'm sorry, people act like you go I don't think they realize what the NBA looks for is talent. Do you have talent and do you have a wanting to win? You add muscle and weight and things like that when you get into the NBA. Look at Giannis. Giannis was a twig. Now he will power anyone out of his way when he's going to the basket. And I'm not saying Victor will do that.
Well, part of that is age. Even if you're not in the league, as you get older, it's easier to put on muscle mass. But what they did not say about that clip was Victor either stopped him or blocked him the first 6 or 7 times he went to the rim at him.
Exactly. And that's actually, I'm going to be honest, that I realize, to me, big men are I realize, especially skinny big man, because a lot of times it takes one injury to bam, now they're gonna have injury after injury after injury. But he's doing pretty well in the league right now, and he's going up against guys who are a lot bigger than him, and I pray that he doesn't get injured. But I'm saying he might. He might be able to buck that trend.
Also, when you are 7'5" and have a 7'10" wingspan, even if you get bodied. What are they going to do when you go like this?
Yeah. Call a charge. I don't want to steal anyone else's takes, but this was also along the same lines. I wish I could give proper credit, but basically they were talking about people are saying, "Oh, how's he going to stop Embiid? How's he going to stop these other big men in the league like Jokic?" First of all, he can't. He'll be okay to stop on possession or two, but also, how many players in the league now can stop Jokic and Embiid?
I saw that exact take. I'm like, no one's stopping
exactly.
Joel Embiid.
Maybe for 1 or 2 takes, but you're not doing it consistently.
No.
Yeah.
So
it's the
pros outweigh the
pointless.
cons.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between a person banging down low in the paint versus someone who's a rim protector like Jared Allen. Like, they play different roles.
Right,
Claxton.
exactly. Yeah.
Claxton.
So, yeah, another season-ending injury. Jonathan Isaac will have season-ending surgery to repair a torn left adductor muscle.
I hate that for him.
Bro played, what?
11 games. He played 11 games.
Jesus Christ.
I know, and that was after being out for, 2 years?
2 or 3. He had been out since the bubble.
Well, yeah. And then if you think about it, I'm pretty sure he was out before that. So, like, I feel bad. Is that career ending? Like, that might be.
They're trying to bring down the man of God.
They might be.
The ordained
tough,
pastor,
dude.
Jonathan Isaac.
It just sucks because, dude, he's so talented,
I know,
bro.
I hate it. Oh, I really do, because he really showed flashes, and then he got injured, and we're like, well, we'll see and then he gets injured again. And I mean, it's a fast-paced league. They kind of move on from players like that.
Yeah, I don't know that it's career-ending as in he won't be able to play. I think it might be career-ending as in he's not going to be looked at very much after
No.
this.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think his career ending, he will never hit his ceiling that was there theoretically.
Yeah, I feel like he can. I still feel like he would be looked at as like a solid bench piece, though.
At least he's got his book.
I was gonna say, for a lot of players, all you gotta do is make the league and just make sure you don't waste all that money, and you're good. So at least he's got that.
It's very true. And one last season-ending injury. Tough week for the Grizzlies all around. Brandon Clark out for the season with a torn Achilles.
Brandon Clark's out?
Yeah, for the season. That is tough. It
And
really
also,
is.
a torn Achilles is not.
Yeah, no, that's major.
That's a big
For
thing.
a big man like that. That's what took Boogie out.
Yeah. Have to wait and see. It
A lot of
definitely
times,
not a great week for the Memphis Grizzlies.
No, a lot of times, especially even when they come back from the torn Achilles, they're not the same anymore ever.
I don't know. Memphis is a tough town. They just gotta figure it out over there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, honestly, I would really hate to be in that organization right now, because which I don't think Ja will miss significant time. I mean, he could eventually, mess up and get into something more serious, but I don't think he'll miss a ton of time. But he said he's stepping away indefinitely, or not but like for a little bit. So who knows how long that could be. They could be in a tough spot. We'll see.
But literally in the same day, it was announced Ja was out indefinitely, suspended, and whatever's going on with that.
Yeah, the suspension for the 2+ games. Which
Yeah.
I wonder. I really wonder what 2+ means. Does that mean like 2, and then they'll see if they want to add more? I
It's
don't
addition. It's math.
Yeah.
I was gonna.
Oh, that adds up. I thought it was. That makes sense.
And then in that
Sorry.
same day, it's announced Brandon Clark's out for the season with a torn Achilles, and Dylan Brooks was suspended for today's games. This is on Sunday, March 5th, for getting his 16th technical foul of the season.
Hey, I like that it's happened so early. It resets. You don't want to be like Draymond where it happens in the middle of the playoffs. So hey, go ahead and
Very
reset
true.
it.
Sadness.
Yeah, you got to get it this game.
That was,
bro.
hey, I'm saying if I'm on 15, I might try to get that 16th before the playoff starts.
But
He chases it.
their PR and training team has their hands full.
Oh, yeah, you are so.
actually,
Yeah,
They're getting
pay raise to
extra-
everyone on
yeah.
that, because they're gonna be working overtime.
And then a few signings?
Signings?
I don't know.
Signings. There
A
we
few
go.
signings, this week from some veteran players. The Nets signed veteran big man Nerlens Noel,
Yes.
and the Bucks signed veteran guard Goran Dragic. I didn't see that one coming.
I knew that one was coming. They've been talking about it.
Yeah,
I didn't know the Nets were going to sign Nerlens Noel. How does this impact LeBron's legacy?
yeah. I don't know.
I was so dumb. I'm so sick
Nah,
of seeing that.
Dear God.
I really watch Goran Dragic hit like the game-winning 3 in like Game 7 of the conference finals or something. But like, I don't think either one of these will be massive game changers.
No.
Watch Nerlens Noel hit the game-winning 3 in the last game of the season where the Nets don't make the playoffs
Oh,
anyway.
okay. So no one cares. They lose draft stock because of that 3. Honestly,
Dear God.
I would just be impressed he hit a 3.
Dude, when you said the last game of the season, I was like, where's he going with this?
NBA champions, Brooklyn Nets. You heard it from Nate.
Dear God. So that's it for the weekly news from this past week. We have a brand new segment called Next Man Up. Steven's going to go ahead and take the wheel on this, and he's going to explain it.
All right, so in just a minute, we're going to have Seth and Nate play rock, paper, scissors, shoot for the first overall pick. But before they do that, I'm going to explain the concept really quickly. So what we're going to do is I have searched, and I just went with a random NBA player, and it's going to seem really weird, but I just Googled random NBA player, and this was the second name to pop up. It's kind of ironic. You'll probably figure out why in a second. But what we're going to do is I'm going to say the name of that player, and then whoever has the first overall pick will name a teammate. So if I say Russell Westbrook and Seth has the first overall pick, he'll go with, any teammate of Russell Westbrook. So he could say Kevin Durant, and then after that, Nate will have the next pick, in our hypothetical, and he will have to pick a teammate of – did I say Kevin Durant? I think I said Kevin Durant. So you could go with Stephen Curry, Kyrie Irving, anything like that. And we're drafting a starting 5. And so, again, you don't have to go 1 through 5, but it should probably be a team that could theoretically work together. And we're going to let you guys choose who has the best team. So does it make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, it'll make sense once we start. So you guys can go and play rock, paper, scissors, shoot for the first overall pick.
You ready?
Ready.
Just one go.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, my gosh. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Let's go. Okay.
All right.
I have the first pick. For those doing audio only, we tied the first 2 times.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. They're going to be like, what? I thought
What the heck happened?
Go. Yeah.
Okay. Who's our player?
So it is funny. So I went with the second because I thought the first one would be too obvious. Well, the first name that popped up was Kyle Lowry. Can't use him. No, I'm just kidding. We could. But the second name that popped up was LeBron James. Surprise, surprise.
Oh,
a
gosh.
teammate of LeBron.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can't.
I'm going to go Dwayne Wade.
All right.
Okay.
At the 2, we got D. All right.
You picked D-Wade?
Yeah.
So I'm going with Shaquille O'Neal.
Smart.
Prime Shaq.
That's smart.
I'm going to go full circle.
You never get to Kobe.
Nope, I'm not going to go Kobe.
Who are you going with?
I'm going with LeBron James.
Whoa. Wait. Can that...
Yeah,
Can you
that
pick
totally
someone?
works.
Can you pick him?
You can't pick the same player as someone else, but we can. No one's picked LeBron.
Oh, that is fair.
I guess that's fair. Dang, that's
Now
a
you're
cheat
back
code.
saying LeBron.
Well, you should be thankful. Now you can choose any teammate of LeBron. You're welcome.
Okay. Let's see. LeBron James.
By the way, I think I forgot to mention this, but we're taking the prime of each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't want.
So
Well,
I don't
my
have a
Shaq
current.
was okay.
I was
but-
gonna say I don't have a current NBA player, and they have 2 retired.
You have to look up teammates of LeBron.
Really?
I'm trying to think of the best one. J.R. Smith. I'm kidding.
I was gonna say there's 2 very obvious. Like I would be okay either one. There's 2 very obvious
gonna
choices.
Go with Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
Okay, you got Kyrie?
Yeah,
I got
that's
Kyrie.
one of the obvious
Thank
choices.
you. Thank you.
Oh God.
Because I'm going with Kevin Durant.
Okay, so I'm not actually. So now I have to decide.
You are.
I have
at
to
the
make a
crossroads.
decision. Hold up, let me write Kevin or KD for you.
I'm writing down my team.
Okay, I'm writing down everyone's team so I can go through it at the end.
Okay.
I could totally go with like a Stephen Curry. However, I think the only problem with that is then we kind of get a little stale on who we can pick.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to pick James Harden.
Oh.
Okay.
So to leave the door open for more.
I'm gonna leave the. Anyways.
You're going James Harden. All right. What's yours?
James Harden. I'm going Joel Embiid.
Joel Embiid.
I'm going Joel Embiid.
Ooh, that does put me in.
I was going to say we run to the same problem with why I didn't go with Curry, but that's fine.
Embiid. Okay, so we're just going Sixers.
Actually, there's a good player that I can think of.
Yeah, I can as well.
Just
All
put
right.
that extra pressure on.
Ben. No, I'm just gonna
Yep,
stop.
that's who I thought.
No, that's not who I'm picking.
Ben Simmons, I already wrote it down. That's tough.
No, wow.
Can you imagine?
Jesus.
Nah.
Okay, so I'm trying to think back through the years of those teams. There was some pretty
There's
good
a lot of
players.
trash there.
I'm going to do something y'all wouldn't expect. Is that okay? It's
Sure.
going to open back up the circle. It's a bit of a journeyman, but for the sake of building this roster, I want JJ Redick.
Wow.
Did not see that coming. I thought you
Okay.
were going to go with Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
That's a great pick, but I think JJ Redick, like, I already got some bucket getters. I need someone who's going to be there standing in the corner for
No,
me.
that's fair. I mean, you got Shaq. So
Yeah.
I feel like JJ Redick and Shaq is a really good combo because, first of all, you can come off a Shaq screen, Or you can just, now you can't double Shaq. I like it.
I'm not gonna lie.
I also want JJ Redick on the pod, so
I respect that pick. Please, actually, please.
So that does leave me with,
a wide open door.
right? I can go. He's played with the Magic.
I know
He's
my
played
pick,
with
but-
the Mavericks. He played with the Clippers. Sorry, now I feel like I'm at my first actual roadblock.
The Clippers was a great one.
I know. I think I'm gonna go just because of how good that Houston Rockets team was with James Harden and Chris Paul. I think I'm gonna combine the teammates and go with Chris Paul.
Great. All right.
That's fair. That's
Chris
fair.
Paul leaves you some opportunities.
Okay.
So you have Kyrie Irving, Dwayne Wade, and Joel Embiid, just in case you didn't realize. So
Yeah. So I need a small forward and a power forward because I'm gonna put Joel Embiid at the 5. Let's.
I thought you were gonna play him at point guard. No, I'm just kidding.
Imagine. Let's see. Let's go with.
Okay.
I might catch flack for this one.
You're struggling.
Yeah, a little bit.
Wait,
Gut instinct. Just go with it, bro.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant already got taken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's go with. Fine, I'll go with Blake Griffin. Jeez.
You could have chose Devin Booker, right?
I know, but
that's what I
I
was
didn't
thinking.
want to put him and Dwayne Wade in the same. I didn't want to put one of them at the 3. Sorry.
that is fair. That is fair. And we are taking prime, so we're not taking Celtics
you
Blake
picked-
Griffin. We're
I
taking-
almost picked Peja Stojakovic
Ooh.
at my 3, bro.
That would have been. He was good though.
That would
Yeah,
have been
but
lights out.
There is a lot of good small forwards.
You
So
picked-
the door's open for you.
Yeah.
You picked Blake Griffin though, right?
Yes.
I got Jason Tatum.
Dang, good for you.
I'm guessing Kevin Durant's gonna be. I'm gonna move Kevin Durant to
He's
the
on
4.
my 4.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I am going to go with. Yeah, because Kyrie Irving's already been picked. Could go with Kemba Walker, but I don't really need another guard.
What about Jaylen Brown?
That's who I was gonna go
That's
with.
a solid pick.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That
that's
can't
who I'm gonna
be-
go with because I need a 3. So
Al Horford.
That's yours.
No. No. Dear God, no.
We are kind of stuck in a Celtics.
You
That-
went
but we
Jaylen-
only have one more pick each. So there's
You went with Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Steven, you stuck me in a corner here
well.
for my 3.
No one puts baby in a corner.
Oh, hold up.
Wait, maybe not. Hold up. I may.
Do all-star teams count?
One second, let me get a few more.
I think Seth is bad at this activity.
No, he's actually
I'm-
doing research. Me and Nate are going with gut feeling.
I'm gonna go with Gordon Hayward,
Gordon Hayward.
prime Gordon Hayward.
That's a good 3 right there.
Okay, that's fair. So if you're going with Gordon Hayward, I'm finishing up with my point guard as LaMelo Ball.
Oh dang, that's such a good team. Good
No,
for you.
That is very solid. Oh no, I have made a massive mistake.
Now
okay?
you're stuck with the Hornets.
And not only am I stuck with the Hornets, but I'm stuck with the Hornets for my center. The position
gosh.
that they have been the weakest at for
Is it
years.
Plumlee or Mark Williams?
Wait, okay, let me. See
So I have
anyone
LeBron.
that
I have LeBron. Not that's. I mean, the last good center the Hornets have had is Al Jefferson.
You're not wrong.
I mean, and he
Okay.
was mostly good for the Bobcats.
I was
that
really-
tells you
Who's
how
your
long.
power forward?
LeBron. So I can move LeBron down, but I already have a
You
good.
probably shouldn't though.
I already know who I'm gonna go
I
with.
was hoping you were going to pick Al Horford so it would open up that whole Atlanta roster to me from when he played there. And I
Yeah,
was
That's
like,
fair.
oh,
I mean, honestly, at this point, I would take Al Horford,
because I could have got Jeff Teague. And I
but
was-
unfortunately, that's not an option. Well, you would
I
much
think I know
rather
who
have
you're gonna
LaMelo
take.
Ball.
oh no, I would.
I'm going to take, and honestly, until recently, I think he's probably gone on the radar, but I'm going to take Mark Williams. First of all, I don't know. I mean, I think he's solid right now. I think he's good enough to be an NBA starting center now, and he's a rookie, so we can just. He's a good shot blocker. I got a
rim protector.
I have a really good defensive team. I have Chris Paul, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, and Mark Williams.
So what we'll do is 10 years down the road, once Mark Williams has entered his prime, and been out of it, we'll go back to this episode.
Imagine. All right. So these are the teams, and you guys can let us know. I really thought until the Mark Williams pick, I had the best team, but now I'm not so sure. But for Seth's team, we have Kyrie Irving at the point guard, Dwayne Wade, Gordon Hayward, Blake Griffin, and Joel Embiid.
It's a squad, bro.
See, I think the best depends, because if my teams go up against your teams, Joel Embiid and Shaq are going to kill me. But I have a lot of talent. But anyway, we'll go with Nate's team next is LaMelo Ball, JJ Redick, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, and Shaq. And then for my team,
scoring.
For my team, I have Chris Paul, James Harden, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, and Mark Williams. So we're going to see. You guys can let us know who's the best. Does anyone have that team's better than the other? Do you guys know?
I like Seth's team, but I also like my team. Mm-hmm. Mark Williams kind of loses.
Oh, so you just hate my team, guys?
I'm throwing the ball down to Shaq every time.
That's fine. I mean that's fair. I don't see JJ Redick locking up James Harden.
I don't see James Harden locking up JJ Redick. I'm just kidding.
No, honestly though, you have a good point.
Fair.
That's why we'd have to.
That's such.
We'd have to. Well, honestly, I'd still keep James Harden or JJ Redick because if you have Kevin Durant, I don't think JJ Redick's gonna be running around screens.
We forgot how good JJ Redick was in Orlando and the Clippers.
I was actually gonna say, if you think about it, I mean, like your team, for example, you would want the ball in LaMelo Ball, Jason Tatum, or Kevin Durant's hands. That there's too much talent. I actually didn't think about it, but teams like this probably wouldn't work the greatest.
Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to let they're going to all take turns going up court with it, those three.
Just ISO.
Shaq is going to set a pick. JJ Redick's going to run around whoever's setting the pick, and we're just going to run a three-way option the whole time.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair.
I feel like my team just makes sense. Pretty much, you have the explosiveness of prime Blake Griffin. You have the all-around just absolute domination of Joel Embiid. Gordon Hayward's can get a bucket. He's going to knock down shots. Dwayne Wade is probably the leader of this team. I mean, he was able to lead the Heat to a championship without LeBron. Sets it up itself. Kyrie's also a championship winner.
Yeah, the only thing that hurts, I think, to me, my favorite team, honestly, is Nate's. The only thing that hurts me for Seth's team is, to me, the best all around. But the only difference between me and Nate's team and Seth's team, in my opinion, is we have some of the greatest players of all time. And no disrespect to Dwayne Wade, but that's Seth's best player.
You got LeBron.
I got LeBron.
Yeah.
I mean, Mark Williams, some of the greatest. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. That's fair. That's
so you guys
fair.
You can let us know down in the comments who has the best team.
Anything else on that?
No, I think we're good on that.
Yeah, I think
Our next segment up is a new segment called Do Over. And we will do this segment several times throughout the show, but this year we're going through the 2018 NBA draft, and we are redrafting the lottery. So I think this would be best started out by saying what the original draft order was. Do you have that possibly pulled up, Seth, or can you get
yes, I can. Also, this episode, not this year.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
We're doing one of these a year, guys.
I mean, maybe.
Dear God.
I do think it's worth noting we are doing the best players, not the best fit. Because,
the best fit per
most of the time.
Team.
Most of the time, the fit does, unless you're the 76ers and you want to draft 3 centers in the lottery. Most of the time you take fit into consideration.
Don't you ever disrespect Sam Hinkie again.
Okay, so
yeah, he hit on 1 draft pick. That's wild. Anyway,
here are the
original 14.
Here are the original 14. Number 1, DeAndre Ayton to the Suns. Number 2, Marvin Bagley to the Kings. Number 3,
should have gone number 1.
Luka Doncic to the Mavericks from the Hawks.
Right.
Number 4, Jaren Jackson Jr. to the Grizzlies. Number 5, Trae Young to the Hawks from the Mavericks. Number 6, Mo Bamba to the Magic. Number 7, Wendell Carter Jr. to the Bulls. Number 8, Colin Sexton to the Cavs. Number 9, Kevin Knox to the Knicks. Number 10, Mikal Bridges to Phoenix. He got traded to Phoenix from the 76ers.
What were they doing? Sorry.
I don't know. Number 11, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, traded to the Clippers from the Hornets. Number 12, Miles Bridges, traded to Charlotte from the Clippers. Number 13, Jerome Robinson to the Clippers. And number 14, the end of the lottery, Michael Porter Jr.
I haven't heard Jerome Robinson in a while. Wasn't he from Boston College? I'm pretty sure he was from Boston College.
Yeah, he was from Boston College.
That's wild to think about.
Okay, so are we just going to go around 1-1-1, 2-2-2?
I think so.
I think
All
so,
right,
yeah.
so I think that Steven should go first.
All right. And you guys stop me if you have a different pick. I'm going.
We're just going for the first round pick.
Yeah, Luka
Number
Doncic.
1. Yeah, I got Luka too.
I also have Luka.
I think that was a no-brainer.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think so.
That was just a complimentary round.
Yeah, that's why I got to go first, so everyone would agree with me. All right.
All right, second.
Oh, I'm going first each time?
Might as well, right?
Actually, I think I'd like to. I feel like my second is going to be different than y'all.
Do you want me to go second?
Yeah, please.
I got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
I also have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Then I lied. I also have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
We're still on the same page.
Let's
I didn't know
go.
if y'all would respect Trae Young. Because, like, no disrespect to Shai. Now, Shai really showed it last year.
Yeah.
But, like, this year is where, to me, Shai has separated himself from Trae Young.
Then Seth should go with 3.
I'll go next.
We just keep alternating. I like it.
Number 3, Jaren Jackson Jr.
Trae Young.
Jaren Jackson Jr.
Let's go.
I have to say, since I'm the oddball out, I'll explain why. Because, you guys already agree. The only reason that I don't want to reveal my number 4, but the only reason I picked Trae Young here is because Jaren Jackson Jr. is the guy you want on a championship team that will make the plays. But Trae Young, to me, has the potential to be the best player on a championship team still. Jaren Jackson Jr. doesn't have that.
I don't know that I agree.
I don't know, dude.
I don't know that I agree. I think Trae Young.
I don't think he will be the best player on a championship team.
I think Trae Young has to be the best player on his team, but I don't know that you want Trae Young to be the best player on his team.
You know
That's
what?
a great take.
That is an interest. That is
It's
a
the
very
same-
interesting take.
Not that Trae Young, he plays very different Russell Westbrook, but it's the same thing as the Russell Westbrook dilemma. For Russell Westbrook to be to be effective, he has to be the best player on your roster. But you don't want him to be the best player in your roster.
The only counterpart I have, and now it works very differently because I'm gonna be honest, Trae Young is not a positive defender. I mean, he's not that great. But the thing about a guy like Trae Young is the fact that for example, Damian Lillard. I don't think Damian Lillard has to be the best player on his team, but most time he is. And I don't think Damian Lillard as the best player on his team will win a championship. I'm saying, I think Trae Young can play anywhere. I think you could put him with a good player.
Like LeBron.
Yeah, and then I think he could be a secondary option and win.
Yeah.
I think if Jaren Jackson Jr. is even your second guy on offense, you're not winning a championship. He has to be lower down the list. Whereas Trae Young can be your second option.
He can be your best
championship.
defensive player on your team.
Now, that is
his defense
100%
is
true.
ridiculous.
That is 100%
So he
true.
could feel like a flex Dennis Rodman.
Honestly,
Right, but
I see
Dennis
him
Rodman's
as
the
a
third
Chris
player.
Bosh type player.
Again,
I
the
think
third
we
best player on his
so
team. I think Trae Young can be
often-
better than the third best player on a winning team.
I just think that defense is underrated. Like, what if, how are you the third? I mean, Dennis Rodman's different.
Right.
But, say, Jaren Jackson Jr., where he's at now, the Grizzlies, I could see them winning a chip if things went right. I think he's the second best player on that
I think they
team.
need one more piece. I don't think John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. can
I
get it up.
think they need.
They need another guy who can get buckets.
I feel like they need a solid 5. Who's their 5 right now?
It's Steven Adams.
Steven.
I think they need another guy who can score. And
Yeah.
I mean score for himself. Because
But,
Desmond Bain gets a lot of points. But I mean score for themselves. You
Yeah.
give
I
them
agree.
the ball.
I agree, but I'm just saying. I think
No, but I
just because you're not the best scorer doesn't mean you're worse than somebody.
yeah, no, I agree. I just think Trae Young can be the second best player on a championship team. I don't
it's
think
fair.
Jaren Jackson Jr.
That's
So that's
fair.
the only reason that I picked Trae Young over.
Okay, well, now we're on to number 4, starting.
And
with
I
me.
have Jaren Jackson Jr. So
This is where I have Trae Young
I also have Trae Young at number 4.
flip flopped. I
Yeah.
don't think we need much explaining there.
no, I don't think so.
No.
So number 5 for me, I have DeAndre Ayton.
I also have DeAndre Ayton.
I have another player who I think is more valuable to a team than DeAndre Ayton,
Okay,
and that's Mikal Bridges.
Wow.
Because this year he has proven that you can give him the ball and he can get a bucket, which is something new he's added to. I mean, he's always been a decent scorer, but now he can actually score with the ball in his hand, and he's already one of the best wing defenders. So that's why I think he is more valuable to the modern NBA than DeAndre Ayton.
the moment DeAndre Ayton gets out of Phoenix, he is going to blossom.
That could be true. There's
There's just too many pieces on that team for him to be.
I think, to me, there has to be because I don't think DeAndre Ayton is good
even
enough.
with all those pieces on that team, he's still averaging 18.5, 10 rebounds.
Well, I mean,
shooting 60% from the field.
If you think there hasn't been the Phoenix Suns have not been healthy all year. Like
that's fair.
I don't think Devin Booker's missed a lot of time. Chris Paul's missed a lot of time. Kevin Durant just started playing, so like he's kind of been their best player for most of the year.
You're right. Dang.
Okay.
Other than Mikal Bridges, who's been better.
Well, going on with number 6, who do you got?
Number 6, I have Anthony Simons.
We're gonna start differentiating
Over
here.
Mikal Bridges?
You got Mikal Bridges?
No, I had him last time with 5.
Who do you got?
I have Jalen Brunson.
I have Jalen Brunson as well.
Okay.
I just want to say this last thing. You will notice I have another pick before I get to DeAndre Ayton. I think, I'm sorry, but just the inside center, if you're not going to be that way defensively, I don't think you have a great role in the NBA. You have to have defense if you're an inside center, and DeAndre Ayton doesn't. That's why I have
that's fair.
this list of players above him.
He can step out though,
and knock down a shot. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, he can, but he's like all offense, and it's mostly 2-pointers. So
that's fair.
now talk about the 80s, man. It's gonna have a good career.
Yeah.
Anthony Simons, I put him over my next guy just because I felt like he had more potential. And he's also on a better team than the next guy.
You have him kind of high for me.
So you have Jalen Brunson too at 6, right?
Yeah.
The main reason, Jalen Brunson should have been All-Star this year. So
have we had the same list up to this point?
yeah, this is y'all's first difference.
All right, and we agreed on this one.
Yeah, that's how I wrote
All right.
it.
Okay, you're up now with number 7.
Me? Oh, I thought I did number 6.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Anthony Simons.
Anthony Simons. I have Mikal Bridges here.
Oh, okay.
I have Jalen Brunson at number 7.
So we're all.
I just felt like
we're
Anthony
starting to
Simons
line our.
has-
Yeah, we're
I
starting.
feel like he had a little bit. He has more potential than Jalen Brunson does.
Yeah.
And also, Anthony Simons is on a better team. Jalen Brunson's on the Knicks.
The Portland
But he's still
Trailblazers
playing
are,
with-
how much better are they than the
I don't
Knicks?
think they are better than
That's
the Knicks.
fair.
Yeah.
Dang it.
I only think the difference between is
Julius
Anthony
Randle.
Simons. Yeah. The only difference is Jalen Brunson runs his offense, and Anthony Simons is the second guy in the offense.
That's fair.
But,
That's fair.
neither one of them are the...
That doesn't always mean something, though, because Kyrie Irving and when they did play together ran the offense, but KD scored more a lot of nights.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, but these are two of the same position.
But they're okay. That's true.
Yeah, that's the only reason I would...
Okay. Well, then I guess now it's to me for
Yeah,
number
number 8.
8. I got Kevin Huerter here. Maybe kind of high, but I really like what I've seen from him in
So
Sacramento.
you have Kevin Huerter. Do you have him above Anthony Simons?
I do.
Wow. Hi.
Jeez.
I
Number 8, I have Mikal Bridges.
Okay, so I think me and you are about to have our
Yeah.
list back, our top 8. I have DeAndre Ayton here, just because I do think all those guards, even though they're not the greatest defensively, I think they're better on a championship team than DeAndre Ayton is.
True.
So that's how I looked at it. But it's all need, obviously.
I mean, I just think Kevin Huerter is really good.
No, I agree. I have him on my list, but further down.
Okay.
I also have him further down.
Well, then, Seth, who do you have for number 9?
Number 9, I have Gary Trent Jr.
Wow. Well, our list really did start aligning. I also have Gary Trent Jr.
This is where I have Anthony Simons.
Wait, so you have... I don't think Kevin Huerter is better than Gary Trent Jr. Interesting.
I
It's
wouldn't say
interesting,
so
though.
either.
I mean,
but-
obviously.
I mean, that's...
I mean, he might not be, but I mean, I just think maybe it's just a matter of fit of
Right.
where he is right now.
Well, I
But-
love him on the Kings, so
Yeah.
I completely
Yeah, it
understand.
is.
what
I
you're
haven't
saying.
watched.
The Kings
much,
are a good fit
I have
for
to say,
him.
I know Gary Trent Jr. is good, and he's on my list, and I know that Anthony Simons
It's
is
'cause
good. I
he's
just
in
haven't
Toronto.
watched them a lot.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
because no offense, but it's because he's in Toronto. Yeah, Gary Trent Jr. is really good though.
Okay, then. Now you're up for number 10.
I am.
Yeah.
Okay, so I put this player. I put Miles Bridges, but because I don't know his outlook in the NBA, I'm going to go ahead. I just wanted to put this is where I would have him,
Okay.
but I don't know. I mean, no one knows what the future holds, so I'm going to go with I'm going to mark him out. I just wanted to give him an honorable mention because this is where he would be for me. I'm going to go with Robert Williams.
Robert Williams.
Because I
Okay.
think Robert Williams is honestly more of a championship center than DeAndre Ayton. And now I have DeAndre Ayton 2 spots ahead, but Robert Williams is what an inside center will have a role as an inside
I
center.
might have a shocking pick here then. I have Mo Wagner.
I don't think he likes my.
You have Mo Wagner?
And Robert Williams looks like a genius pick now. No, I'm just kidding.
I think Mo Wagner, Robert.
I think neither of those two were in my lottery.
Seth.
I know who Robert
You don't have
Williams
Robert
is,
Williams.
and I know what he's going to be.
Yeah.
I don't know what Mo Wagner is going to be, and he has a lot of potential.
I think
Is he on the Magic right
Yeah.
now? Okay.
That Magic
brother.
team is on the up and up.
Yeah.
but
Mo
I
Wagner's
get
so
it.
much. Well,
How old is he now?
honestly,
Let's see.
Let's be honest here. I think I mixed up Mo and Franz. Franz Wagner is way better than Mo Wagner.
Oh, for sure.
This changes
Yeah.
everything. Can I realign my list real
Yeah.
quick?
I mean, no, but Mo has been. I mean, he's been good as a backup
fine.
center on a trash team. But
But
No,
dear
I got
God,
mixed
I
up.
was like, what? I was like, Mo Wagner?
he had 13 points on his
Okay.
last game. That's good. Robert Williams is.
I'm gonna move up my last 11th pick, and I'll figure it out from here.
I just want to say one last thing about Robert Williams.
Yeah.
As you're fixing your list, we do have to kind of remember Robert Williams was almost a starting center on an NBA championship team. I mean, he was making a real difference for that Celtics team. So that's why I think he.
I didn't
is
even
really
say
good.
my 10th pick yet.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, my
He's going with
10th
his
is
new
gonna be
team.
Michael
Oh.
Porter Jr.
Michael Porter Jr.
I also said Michael Porter Jr.
Okay,
So now they.
I don't
feel
think
like-
that I sound as crazy now. I got him.
No,
mixed
you
up.
don't.
Yeah, when you said Mo Wagner, I was like, wait,
Now,
what?
Franz,
Now I don't have a 14th pick. But I gotta
Franz,
figure that out.
yeah, Franz is very good. Mo, I don't want to disrespect Mo.
Are they
was
siblings?
Absolutely, yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They're brothers.
Oh, good for them.
And they're both friends with Duncan Robinson.
That's a random fact,
That's a
but thank
very
you.
random
They're on his podcast.
Ah, that makes
Oh,
sense.
he has a podcast?
Yeah, I don't
Alright,
think he does it anymore.
So now we're moving
Oh.
to you with number 11.
That's me again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'm adjusting my list, but I got number 11 right here. My number 11th pick in the 2018 draft is going to be Robert Williams.
Ah, okay, that's funny then.
My number 11 pick is Wendell Carter Jr.
Yeah, the fact that you think Wendell Carter Jr. is better than Robert Williams is mind-boggling. I'm just going. Now I do have to say Wendell Carter Jr. He's a streaky shooter, but I'll say he's a better offensive player.
I guess because I was looking at
Because
stats.
they're both undersized.
Robert
centers.
Williams' stats don't look.
They don't stick out to you, but he's
No.
he's the championship guy.
He is a defensive player, though.
But no, hey, I won't judge. I do. Wendell Carter Jr. was very close to making mine. I have Michael Porter Jr. So me and Nate swapped. Just I guess because Michael Porter Jr. has a lot of potential. We still don't
Yeah.
really know what we got in Michael Porter Jr. yet.
Okay, so now Seth is first, right?
It's number 12.
Yeah.
With number 12, I have Colin Sexton.
This is where I have Kevin Huerter.
And this is
I think
where
it's slightly better than Colin Sexton, but it's close.
I have Gary Trent Jr. here.
Okay. I know. I cannot believe he's so
Under
much
Mo
lower.
Wagner. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Stop.
I'm kidding.
He's not on my list anymore.
That was an accident for
It wouldn't be
sure.
a podcast if I didn't have a mess up. So,
That's fair.
So am I with 13?
Yeah, you got 13.
I have Jared Vanderbilt here, and I'm gonna be honest.
I thought about it.
Jared Vanderbilt literally he's been on how long? Do we know how many games he's been on the Lakers for? Like 4, and he's already won them 2 games. Like made game-winning plays. Jared Vanderbilt is one of the best two-way players in the NBA. I'm saying it right now. He's so good defensively that he can guard 1 through 5, and then he can score. He's developing the scoring part, but he put up like almost 20 the other night. So I'm gonna go with Jared Vanderbilt for sure.
This is where he wasn't previously on my list, but now adjusted. I have Colin Sexton.
Okay. All right.
Number 13, I have Kevin Huerter.
Okay,
All right.
that's respectable. I have him at 8.
Only 5 spots down. I think it's to you now for the last pick.
My last pick is Mitchell Robinson.
I have to say, for some reason I did 15 players, and so that means he just missed it for me. So I like Mitchell Robinson. I do. I really do.
This is number 14, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Last pick.
Last pick, I have Marvin Bagley the third.
Did you have Robert Williams on that list?
No.
Oh my gosh!
You picked Marvin Bagley
Yeah.
over.
I'm gonna pretend like I didn't hear any of that.
Yeah,
Or Jared Vanderbilt.
That's
Is he even playing?
You what?
yeah.
You don't want a starter on
he
a
doing
Lakers
okay?
team.
He's
He's playing on the bench for the Pistons. Okay, let's not. Act,
oh wait, I forgot he's on the Pistons now. Dang it.
Yes.
Right.
And he wanted
Oh,
him over
God.
Jared Vanderbilt, who just won a game for the Lakers.
Nah, bro.
No, I'm just kidding. You know what? It's to each their own.
I
My
mean, he's
14.
scoring. Let's see. He's scoring 11.6 a game, 6.9 rebounds, shooting 54% from the field.
Because he's played 29 games.
I
What a pig. I don't feel dumb anymore. I'd rather have Mo Wagner.
I would too. I would honestly too.
I'm gonna go ahead and switch that out for Robert Williams.
Now you made
You made it. You laid your bet. Marvin Williams. I took Colin Sexton here, so I'm only a pick behind.
We were all really similar on our list. Just
Yeah,
a little
it just
bit of
as we started getting down players, I think the biggest difference is that y'all like DeAndre Ayton a lot better than I do.
and we like
Jaron Jackson Jr.
better.
Well, that's
Trae
just
Young.
one spot.
Yeah.
We just swapped those. Also, I like Mikal Bridges a lot better. What was he for y'all?
He was number 8 for me,
7 for me.
I was 5. I had him well above DeAndre.
which I like him too. I was just looking at numbers though.
And then the last big difference I noticed is Kevin Huerter is Nate's golden
I'm
child.
a redhead.
It's like,
I think it's the resemblance here.
He's like, I could see myself doing that.
But also, let's just so you had Miles Bridges on your list, sort of as an honorable mention.
Yeah, at 10.
There were 4 players in the lottery that none of us had even in the top 4, not even in our top 14. Mo Bamba, Kevin Knox, Miles Bridges, and Jerome Robinson.
Well, listen to those names, and other than Miles Bridges, none of them deserve
Kevin Knox
to be
is
there.
going to go down as the Fortnite guy
Yeah, honestly.
because he had the Fortnite jacket.
Yeah.
Probably the most well-known out of those is Mo Bamba, and it's probably for the song.
Yeah,
I mean, he plays pretty well, but
LA.
I have to check. He hasn't, as far as I know. All I remember of his time on, it's been very short his time on the Lakers, but I remember him getting dunked on. He got postered. That's all I remember. The difference. So
let's see. So far this season, he's averaging 7 points, 4.8 rebounds, and shooting 49.2% from the field.
yeah, this is gonna sound crazy, but give me Marvin Bagley over him. Like I don't think Mo's where it's at.
Yeah, that's fair.
You want Marvin Bagley over Mo Wagner?
Mo Bamba.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mo Bamba.
Oh,
Whoa,
sorry.
hold up. There was 2 Mo's drafted?
Well, one's
actually,
technically Moritz.
I was gonna say it's like
Moritz?
it's like Mortiz or Moritz or something like that. I'm gonna
it's
show back.
Moritz.
Ex-Wizards Mo Wagner. Bias.
That's why you wanted him, because he was on the Wizards.
Yep, you got me.
Well, that's all for that segment. Before we go, if you haven't already, we're going to say this again. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Sorry. No, at Let the Play Develop Pod. That's what it is.
There you go.
And then also, if you're listening to this on streaming platforms, go check us out on YouTube. Subscribe there. If you're watching on YouTube, yo, what's up? Go check us out on all the streaming platforms and give us a like there. We very much appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Do you guys have anything to say?
I don't think so.
I'm all good.
Awesome. Have a great week. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.